Hello, universe. Welcome to my world. Did you ever have a song banging around in your head for months or even years, and you may not even be aware of what the song is or the name or where you first heard it? Well, that's what happened to me when I was a kid. I heard this song, and I really didn't know what it was. It was this one. But eventually I found out that this song was from 1940, Walt Disney's Pinocchio, and it was called When You Wish Upon a Star.
When you wish upon a star, makes no difference who you are. Anything your heart desires will come to you.
And recently when Angelina Jordan covered this song, it took me on a time machine back the 83 years. And I've looked at this song to find out what it's all about. And it has quite a history. Shortly after the movie came out, it was covered very famously by Glenn Miller. And there were many, many dozens of performances in this style. And this version is typical of what you heard in the 40s and 50s.
When you wish upon a star, makes no difference who you are.
But it was in the late 50s where music really started to diversify. And one of my all-time favorite genres from the late 50s, unfortunately relatively short-lived, was doo-wop, where you had 3 or 4 guys standing on a corner in the Bronx or Brooklyn, slick back hair, singing a cappella, singing their hearts out. And we have a couple of examples of some doo-wop group who performed the song as well. In 1957, Dion and the Belmonts had their breakthrough hit with I Wonder Why, where their doo-wop credentials were on display. And then we'll hear our featured song for today.
Upon a star, makes no difference who you are.
And also in the late 50s, you had Little Anthony and the Imperials. They actually weren't a doo-wop group, but to my ears they were. They were more rhythm and blues and soul. And their breakout hit was Tears on My Pillow.
You don't remember me, but I remember you.
When you wish upon a star, makes no difference who you are. Anything your heart desires will come to you.
And in the 60s, covering this song, we had 2 massive legends. In the field of soul and rhythm and blues, we had Little Stevie Wonder. He did the performance in the early 60s on The Ed Sullivan Show, where he did one of his early songs, Fingertip. And when he sings our featured song, notice at the start of it how he spaces out some of the lyrics. And then we will hear the jazz legend performing the song, Mr. Louis Armstrong.
Clap your hands just a little bit louder. Clap your hands just a little bit louder.
When you wish upon a star, makes no difference who you are. Anything your heart desires will come to you.
When you wish upon a star, makes no difference who you are. Anything your heart desires will come to you.
And we've had so many female legends covering this song. In 1985, we have Judy Collins covering the song on an album, and Diana Ross and the Supremes released a song in 1986, although it was recorded in 68.
When you wish upon a star, makes no difference who you are. Anything your heart desires will come to you.
If your heart is in your dream, no request is too extreme. When you wish upon a star, as dreamers do.
Also in the mid-80s, you had the rock legend Linda Ronstadt covering the song. And you also had the Australian legend Olivia Newton-John paying her respects to the song as well.
You and I travel to the beat of a different drum. Or can't you tell by the way I run? Fate is kind. She brings to those who love the sweet fulfillment of their secret longing.
Like a bolt out of the blue, fate steps in and sees you through. When you wish upon a star, your dream comes true.
And in the 90s, you had one of the female legends of the 20th century, Barbra Streisand, whose career started on top and has stayed on top for the last 50 years with her amazingly unique voice.
When you wish upon a star, makes no difference who you are. Anything your heart desires will come to you.
Also in the 90s, you had performers revisiting the song many years after they came into the public eye. Billy Joel first broke through with Piano Man in 1973, but here's his 1991 performance of When You Wish Upon a Star.
It's 9 o'clock on a Saturday. A regular crowd shuffles in.
When you wish upon a star, makes no difference who you are. Anything your heart desires will come to you.
And one of the more unusual covers and transitions involving the song is from Mickey Dolenz. He started out in the late 60s in the Monkees, and here they're seen locking around. They were America's answer to the Beatles. And then some 25 years later, with a completely different feel, he covers this song as well.
When you wish upon a star, makes no difference who you are.
And in the 21st century, in the year 2000, we hear the Manhattan Transfer. They do a very unusual version of his song, which is somewhere between jazz a cappella, and new age.
When you wish upon a star, makes no difference who you are. Anything your heart desires will come to you.
In 2003, you had a version from NSYNC. Now, normally I don't like boy bands, but they really do justice to the song. And their ability to harmonize is what makes this version special.
If your heart is in your dream, no request is too extreme. When you wish upon a star, as dreamers do. Oh.
And if we're going to speak about harmony, in 2011, you had Brian Wilson covering the song. I've kept it a bit of a secret, but the Beach Boys are one of my all-time favorite groups, and Brian Wilson is considered a master of harmony. He also, in 2011, did a performance of his original song, Surf's Up, which I'm going to feature because it's one of the best examples of his talent. And also in 2011, you had a version by Jackie Evancho. She has a phenomenal voice, crystal clear. It's almost as if she's an opera singer. And bringing us now to the current decade in 2020, you had a wonderful performance from Pentatonix. They're an a cappella group out of Texas. And to introduce them, we will hear their phenomenal performance of Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah.
Well, your faith was strong, but you needed proof. You saw her bathing on the roof, her beauty in the moonlight overthrew you.
When you wish upon a star, makes no difference who you are. Anything your heart desires will come to you.
You may or may not know that this is an Angelina Jordan channel, and eventually we do come to her. And here she's performing this song, but in a different way. What's striking about this performance is she doesn't really pay that much attention to the melody. Instead, each individual word, when she comes to it, she gives it a special treatment. She makes a special decision about each word and how she's going to treat it. And this makes the performance very, very different than all of the others. Let's hear what we're talking about.
You wish upon a star, makes no difference all knew you are. Anything your heart desires will come to you. If your heart is in your dream, no request is too extreme. When you wish upon a star, as dreamers do.
Angelina Jordan does give her versions a special treatment, and today was a very good example. She understands that the melody is negotiable, and she can make each word come alive in a completely unique way. We will continue to make the career of Angelina Jordan come alive in a completely unique way in the future. Before I sign off, I have a terrible wordplay for you. Angelina Jordan can really relate to the song because it's part of her family. Okay, gang. Hope you forgive me for that. I'm out of here. Catch you later. Bye.